Alrighty guys, so this is the 4th week update to the side hustles. To be honest you guys, this 4th week wasn't the best. We had a revenue of 245.23. Could be worse. Still pretty happy though. We ended the month at 1338.61. So out of the spare bedroom, we're making what, like, my math's horrible, like 14k. So we're slowly getting there. I don't think I'm going to update you guys next month as far as sales. I'm going to skip a month and then start updating weekly again back in August. I really want to focus on some things. And I have a goal of hitting $2,000 in revenue in August. So we'll see if we can do that. Also, I have to cave. I have to yield and kind of put the laser engravers on the back burner for a little bit and focus on 3D printing. That's what's bringing in revenue, the most money. So I have to really focus on that. And the last week or so, I've been really trying to learn how to use Nomad Sculpt and Fusion 360. Sorry, I completely forgot to update you guys as far as what was sold. I sold 15 clips. I sold one of these mounts for like the rear view camera. I sold 4 of these cases that are magnetic for the fiber laser lenses. So that was cool. I haven't sold these in a while. And I sold 1 AirTag holder for a stroller that I make. Also, we had 2 5-star reviews. I'm not sure why the sales were so low this week. Maybe it was just a slow week on Etsy or something, but 2 5-star reviews, no negatives, so I don't know. What I'm going to do to try to improve that for the next month or so, I really want to try to do 3 to 5 listings on my Etsy. I've honestly not been uploading stuff. I have, I think, like 52 listings active. And to be honest, you guys have seen, I sell for the most part maybe like 6 constantly. The rest of them are kind of just there. So I really want to do that. What I did this week was I sculpted on my iPad a couple different designs. This one here is an English Bulldog, like monk. I got inspiration from somebody else who made one. It was a French Bulldog one. And I kind of wanted to do one, so I kind of like made too many. This one here is a French Bulldog one. And these are all printed on the 3D printer out of marble PET G, which is just a different material. And the last one that I made, which is the one I'm most excited about, is this one. Here's like my hand for reference. It's probably like about the size, a little bit smaller than like a real Frenchie, but it's a light holder. You screw in the light bulb and plug it into the wall. So I think this one's pretty cool. Probably my favorite. Where did I put it? There's like a hook. You can hook it on the wall. But yeah, so I'm gonna list this guy here. After going back and forth with like Chat GPT, I've been using Chat GPT a lot, like the last week or so, running numbers. It's a really good resource for that because Etsy charges fees, TikTok charges fees, eBay, and it's like 5% here, 10% there, whatever they do. So I've been entering prompts, something along the lines of if I want 30% profit on an item, and it takes, like for example, that one took 16 hours to print, so a long time to print. And I'll ask ChatGPT if a print takes 16 hours to print, requires a $10 socket, the filament costs $25. I think it was like 22 plus shipping, and needs a 12 by 12 by 12 box. How much should I sell it for on Etsy? Factor in all the fees, and it'll tell you what you should sell it for this profit. And that's kind of what I'm going on. There's another shop that sells different style ones. Like he has a French Bulldog holding like a lantern and like a crocodile and like different designs. He sells them for like $170, which kind of gives me a glimmer of hope that would sell for like $120. And if it does, I think I make like $50 per item, which kind of like justifies having your 3D printer down for like 16, 17, 18 hours. I think it's closer to 18 because it prints in 2 pieces, and I just have to print another clip. And yeah, anyways, I'm gonna do that and see. I have a couple other ideas of things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a Doberman tonight, like a dog. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Also, these little ones, I think these would be a good item to market to like fish tank owners, aquariums. You know, if I print these in Pet G, which I did, they're aquarium safe. You know, for like the fish and stuff, they're not gonna harm anything, and they'll be okay in the water. They're not gonna like deteriorate. And I feel like this would look pretty cool like in a fish tank, maybe without like that top bowl. I made this one here for like my keys for my desk. It's kind of small, but it works. But I feel like if it didn't have that bowl or something like this, a little bit larger, I could probably sell maybe this one for like 15 bucks if it was like that height. This one maybe for like 20 or 25. That'd be pretty cool, you know? A bunch of like grass growing in and stuff, and like guppies swimming around. I feel like that'd be cool. So I'm probably gonna start listing those. What else? Updates. I signed up for Amazon seller's account, so we'll see how that goes. It was kind of expensive, if I'll be honest. I listed these on there, the little clips. So to be short, it's $40 a month just to have an Amazon account. It is required that you have a UPC per item that you sell, which is a barcode specifically for your item. It's not like a universal thing, and that was $30. What else? They charge you to ship your stuff to Amazon. These I'm doing FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, where you ship them a bunch of stock and then they kind of distribute it to different warehouses, and it's like an Amazon Prime item. So hopefully this sells. Bright side is there's not a ton of work on my end. I think I took like an hour and a half or 2 hours after it's printed to prepare everything, pack it, and then ship it out. So if I can just, you know, set aside an hour or two a week, as long as it sells, to do that, that might be, you know, a really good revenue income. And then as long as Etsy keeps selling them too, that'd be pretty cool. So we'll see how that works. Only bad thing is if you want to expand, it's $30 to add the item, so that's really pretty good. I think for this, I'm already like $100 in, so I need to sell 10 of them just to break even. So I think it will, you know, eventually, but we'll see. So I don't know how I feel about this, the whole Amazon thing. It might be a good thing, but honestly, I don't know why I have like this weird feeling about it. But hopefully it works out and brings in more money, and I'll add more items to my Amazon account. We'll see. What else? I had some fails this week. I ordered some gym mirrors, like the 12 by 16, just regular rectangle mirrors. And my idea was to use the CO2 engraver to like etch the back of them and sell different designs. I did like the Pokemon card and the One Piece Wanted poster. I can like personalize them, but I don't know if it's user error or the machine's just not for it. I think it might be the product, the actual items, because I had 4 failures before I kind of like rage quitted, if I'll be honest. And I ended up ordering some really large roll of tape. And normally what you want to do with the mirrors is you want to engrave the backside after you flip your image. That way you don't damage your laser. There's a potential if you do it the other way, the laser will like bounce back, like reflect, and damage your laser. So what you can do is you can use like blue painter's tape and like tape the reflective side, and when you engrave it, it'll like etch, like it'll hit the painter's tape first and then etch it and not bounce back. But it's honestly, when I was watching when it was doing it, it's still kind of iffy. So I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I posted these on my local market on Facebook Marketplace. I've had a couple people ask me about them, but so far no sales. If I sell 2, I break even. I'm actually in the green, so we'll see. We'll see how those do. So far, not great, but you know, they're just sitting there. They're not really costing me anything right now, so we'll see what happens with that. What else, you guys? I feel like I've been focusing so much on the business lately, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like I've done a lot. So we'll see if how things go. $1,300 this first month. This was my first month tracking it, so I honestly had no idea how much money I was making. I knew I was in the green just because I knew I was making more money than I was spending into the business. But now I have a benchmark and I know what to hit. It'd be cool to really, you know, bring that up. I know Etsy has like this thing going on right now where like they're getting rid of a lot of resellers. So hopefully, you'll see a lot less 3D printing people, and like the competition's not as tough. I'm not too worried about it because all the stuff that I sell is pretty much original stuff that I kind of designed. So we'll see, you guys. I think I'm gonna start uploading just like different things that I'm working on, different 3D models, and we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I think that's it. If I forget anything else, maybe I'll add another clip. I'm working on something else behind the scenes, but it's probably gonna be a few months before I update you guys on that. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I'm kind of staring at it now, and it's kind of in the air, so we'll see. Was there anything else I was working on? I don't think so. Yeah, you guys, I guess thank you guys for watching. Any questions, comments, concerns, advice, leave it down below. We'll see. Here's to next month's progress and hopefully, more income. Bye.